What's up, y'all? It's your host, Noah Snow, and today we got a very special episode. We're going to have Trey Jones on here. So when he joins, we're going to start the interview. We're going to get right into it. I just invited up, I just invited up in here, so he should be joining shortly. Yo, what's up?
What's good, Brody?
I'm doing good. How you doing?
I'm good. I'm chilling.
Yeah. All right. So, I guess I could go get started right into it if you're ready.
All right, yeah, that's cool.
All right, bet. So today we got 6'3", dual threat quarterback at Oswego East High School, Navy commit, SPC first team all conference, SPC offensive player of the year runner up, and welcoming Trey Jones. Anything you want to tell the people about yourself?
Shoot, you knocked it all out.
All right.
You good?
I mean, we got most of it out the way, so that's good. So not everyone may know, but you transferred from Montini, right? When
Yeah.
you left, what carried on with you the most?
Probably just tradition. That's a Chicago Catholic League team with a lot of tradition, a lot of history. Um, they they were the most a second successful team of the decade from 2010 to 2020. They were right behind Mount Carmel, so if you're gonna be behind a school, Mount Carmel's not too bad of a school to be
Yeah,
behind. But
it's
yeah,
not.
just
It's really not.
yeah, nah, just that tradition and just how serious they take the game of football.
Okay. So, yeah, like you said, tradition, a school like that, they got a lot of, even the rules, I noticed it was a difference going from a school like that to a public school.
Yeah,
But you like that tradition?
no, it was a little bit different with like the school life and stuff, but yes, it definitely prepares you for the next level though.
All right, bet. So, you received many offers, right? But why the Navy? What stood out to you the most about them?
So the offers I got pretty early. So a lot of the schools ended up having like staff changes and things of that nature, but I still snagged a couple more O's on top of that. But it was really just the life after football that they could guarantee you. Um, and it's just like the prestige, like how prestigious it is to go to the Naval Academy or to any military academy. It's really an honor to be a part of something like that and have the opportunity to have something, to be a part of something like that.
They got a lot of benefits. Like they definitely gonna make sure you set up for after, like even after football, they still got a lot of, they got a lot of benefits for you. So a
Yeah.
lot of other
Well,
schools, some of the schools you got offers to, they can't really guarantee some of that.
yeah, they
So,
said nice.
so yeah. So big one. How did it feel to be Oswego in your final year? Especially, I mean, you had 255 yards, 4 touchdowns. That sound about right, at least from rushing yards.
Something like that. I seen a couple different numbers, but yeah, something like that.
Okay. So how did that feel? Because I know that was a big moment. I mean, especially your
Yeah, it
final
was
year, come out there
and
and finish.
yeah, like what you said earlier too, like with me transferring in, I didn't really get a taste of how big that rivalry was
Yeah.
until my junior year. And so to get that give back my senior year, it was the senior year. We clinched a playoff spot. We knocked them from being able to get in the playoffs. And then it was our last home game as seniors. So it was real sweet, bro. Like after the fact, when you think about all of those, like, all the extra stuff on top of it, it was a good experience.
So, I mean, I know you had to bounce back because your junior year and then go to where you wanted it to, but how did that feel you, like going into senior year, like wanting to beat them?
Yeah, it was interesting because when we lost to them, my main like what kept me up at night was just like the seniors beat them their junior year,
Yeah.
and then so they weren't able to follow up with it a second time. But I actually ended up getting hurt that junior year game, and
Okay.
their crowd was excited. They loved it, right?
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
you know,
That's
so
a
the
rivalry
yeah,
game.
so I had to get my get back my senior year. Had to.
Had to. So, was that your favorite moment from like your time in Oswego East?
Yeah, um, it's a close second. I've had so many good memories outside of like the games. Like really the funniest ones was practice. Like,
All right, give us a story. Give us a little practice story.
man, got I got so many practice stories, and one of my boys he's watching, but just probably some with Junie in it. Like I remember Junie he had messed up his thumb the first couple weeks of training camp,
Okay.
and like he was on they were doing team, and so he ended up catching a pick with his free hand, and like the whole team went crazy. And it was just hilarious because like I can't take anything he does seriously, but like he's a baller. But I mean, dude was out there balling with one hand. But that's probably one of the ones that comes to mind first.
Yeah, that's what even though like the sophomore and freshman coaches always talk about Junie. He just be
Yeah,
out there big ball and energy, but that's good to have on the team. And with only one hand, I mean that's
yeah, it was.
you don't get better
Yeah,
than
if
that.
it would have happened in a game, yeah, it would have been all over
It
the place.
would have been. It would have been. So what would you say is the greatest asset you had in the football field? Like what's your best trait?
Mm, Probably just my mental makeup and approach to the game. Um, it's something that everybody needs because you can't always be the most athletic or you can't always have the strongest arm. But if you're mentally prepared going into the game, I think at any position, whatever you play, it takes you a step ahead of everybody else, And I feel like that's probably one of the biggest areas that I grew when going from my junior year to senior year is just like understanding football
Yeah.
opposed to just going out there and playing football. Like you actually understand, why this happened, what the result of something can be if you do this, and it's just really playing chess with
Yeah.
people.
Okay, so like you just said, the football is a battle both physically and mentally. So going into those games, like what be your mental routine? Like how do you get locked in before those big games?
So just a good week of practice. So Monday through Thursday is gotta be a good week of practice where I can like be able to sleep at night. Film, being able to know what they do. I watch plenty of film with my Coach LeBlanc, with my quarterback Coach Catone. So I watch plenty of film and just making sure I have my body right. So ice bath early in the week, I ice bath the night before the game,
Okay.
and then really just being mentally locked in all Friday. Like Friday was, if you saw me on a
Yeah,
Friday, like
you be having the
yeah,
headphones and you be
headphones on, head down, just going straight to class, ready to get at it. So it's pretty simple, but I just kind of stayed in that same cycle, not breaking that cycle just because I'm kind of superstitious when it comes to that. I
yeah.
try to make sure I put everything into it because you don't want to have any excuses afterwards.
Not at all. So yeah, confidence is going into those games feeling confidence. That's the best thing you can do because you confident in your game, you be prepared. You know what I'm saying? So it's always good to be mentally locked in before your games. So going to the Navy, what are your long-term goals as a quarterback, both in college and beyond?
Um, I mean, my main goals is just to go out there and ball. You know what I mean? I'm not going to be too specific about what I want to do, but you know, I'll say this: I'm not going somewhere to just go play. You know what I'm saying? I wanna run the table on whatever I can do. Well, as much success I can have, that's what I'm striving for. And I put the work in. I'm gonna continue to put the work in. So we'll just let the chips fall where they may.
Yeah, the Wolfpack, they all gonna be there every step of the way watching those games. Like, being a Navy, D1. That's a big step. That's a
Yeah,
big love. So being able to be out there and play on that field, that just means a lot in itself. And for you to make it there, but we all can't wait to see what you do and what you accomplish.
appreciate it.
So yeah, as a quarterback, you play a vital leadership role on the field. How do you approach leading your team and motivating?
Really just leading by example. I'm not too much of a rah-rah guy. If you ask some of the guys, like if I have something on my mind, yeah, I'll talk to them, but I'm not a real huge speech guy. Like I said, just lead by example. And just, be able to build the trust of my teammates where they know where if we ever get in a sticky situation in the game, they know who they can rely on. So
You can,
that's kind of,
yeah.
yeah, that's kind of my approach to it.
Okay. What has been the most rewarding part of the journey so far?
Most rewarding part.
Yep.
It's easy to say that you get that goal of like actually being able to play D1, but most rewarding part is just the memories. You know what I mean? Because I head out to school tomorrow night, and so I'm kind of in just like that, like you just look back at all the memories that you made with all these great people, and that's kind of the I guess the greatest gift that football has given me, especially high school football. And you could say youth football and all that other stuff as well, but yeah, that's probably memories, probably the biggest piece.
So you ready to go? I know it's a little far away from home, so you ready to go? Maryland, right? Maryland, right?
Yeah, it's in Maryland, but I'm gonna be at the prep school for the first 8 months, so that's in Rhode Island. But yeah, but it's gonna be a change regardless.
It is. So, but you think you ready for it?
Yeah, I'm ready for it. I mean, regardless of if I was going to, Navy, or if I was going to, whatever said university, you know what I'm saying? I'm still leaving home. I'm still leaving my friends back at home. It doesn't change anything. It's still going to be a process. You still got to put in the work, and, now I'm ready. I'm ready for all that.
Well, yeah, that's good. That's good that you're ready. Because I know a lot of people be a little hesitant, like when they got to leave, especially far away from home. But like, it's good that you're already ready and kind of locked in, and got a goal in mind. So, being a quarterback requires a deep understanding of the game, excellent decision-making skills. How do you prepare yourself besides watching? I know you said watching film, so I guess that's kind of it. But just like, how else do you prepare, like for those games? Just because I know some of it's just being mentally locked in, but especially the coaches, I know they do a good job at explaining and making sure that you're comfortable.
Yeah.
But sometimes it could be a lot to cram in new plays and all this, and just learning. Like, I know it takes a lot of work, even not at school, but when you get home as well. It's like putting in that extra work.
So like watching film is kind of the easy answer, but just training intentionally. And what I mean by that is just like a lot of people want to go out and just, throw 150 balls, but if you're just out there doing it, going through the motions, that's not going to help you. You know what I mean? It's just like training with a plan. So going out there knowing, hey, I need to throw this ball with, it's got to time up this way, or, knowing with my receiver, you got to run it this deep, cut it at this angle, stuff like that. Where once you get into the game, it gets easier. You know what I'm saying? So they're like,
it's easier when you practice it with intent.
Yeah.
Like if you just going through the motions, and like that's not how it's going to be in the actual game. You got to go through at full speed. So it becomes easier because it's just like you practice. Next question: how do you handle criticism and feedback from coaches, and how has it helped you grow as a player?
criticism and feedback from coaches, I kind of look at it as like, I look at criticism as like a gift almost, because it's a way to help you build a bigger bag. You know what I mean? 'Cause it's like, I have a great pops. My pops is not the dude that's gonna tell me I'm the greatest thing
Yeah,
walking. He's not. So, getting criticism from coaches is really nothing. And it's like I really open my ears and listen to what they have to say, because it can make you a better player, and where you won't have, where one day if you keep taking criticism and you do what you can to fix it and adjust it and adapt, one day you will have zero flaws.
yeah,
You get what I mean? So it's like you keep going until you don't have any hiccups in your game. And that's kind of how I look at it. So, I take it well. I never dwell on, how harsh it is or
yeah.
how light it is, but I just do what I can to fix whatever it is.
Yeah, that's how, I mean, I know you know Coach Thomas. That's one thing about him. He be getting on us like he big on criticism, but it's only for the better, and it just helped me even grow my game, even over the last couple of months in summer camp, and even last year, just having that criticism. Because if you tell me, "Oh, good job, you did everything right," I mean, that's just gonna have me going in the wrong direction. So,
Right.
kind of keeping me humble. Like he stabilizes us, make sure we stay humble. Um, Name a moment when you faced adversity and how'd you fight through and prevail.
Um, Adversity, fight through and prevail. Shoot, I could even go back to the crosstown game. We went down early, 14-0, didn't touch the ball probably like the first 7 minutes, I'd say. And you go in from sitting on the sidelines pretty cold, and you're down. You give them a 14-point spot, and then you come back and you beat them
Yeah,
by what I'm saying. You come back and beat them by 14. I feel like that's a big deal.
it is.
On that stage. Obviously I didn't do it alone. I had my team. I had my teammates, but I think that kind of showed what type of character we had. And built up all season.
Yeah, that makes sense. So I remember because I mean, a lot of people was there. You know how many people was there. Basically, the whole school was. But like, just seeing them go down early, and it's like, okay, it's still early though. Like, you just having that faith and never giving up. Because I mean, obviously, you could have easily been like, dang, we down 14-0, and have your head in the wrong place. But when you just stay confident and just have trust in your teammates, that's the best way to go up about it. Who or what is your biggest motivation or inspiration?
Biggest motivation and inspiration. Um, my biggest motivation, I say, is just if you have a goal, just doing whatever you can to achieve it. My biggest fear is failure, and so I just enjoy the process. You know what I mean? That's my biggest thing. Like, it's not about being in this case, like the premium award is like the Heisman. Like, it's not about being the Heisman tomorrow. It's about the process that gets you there. You know what I'm saying? Just taking it day by day. So
Taking it.
that's probably my biggest motivation. Waking up better than I went to sleep. You know what I mean?
Yeah, just standing in that grind, just like embracing it. Like that's what I mean, embrace the hunt. Like that's really the motto, just embracing that hunt and embracing that process, because that's what makes you great. Not they don't just look and be like, I mean, that's what we see from the outside. When you see people go be great, it's like you don't see the hours and the behind the scenes at the work they put in. You just see
Yeah.
go out on the field, make it look easy, but it take a lot to get to that level. I mean, it's the pros and college, all of it. I mean, it just takes a lot to get there, and it's it's a long process. You have any ideas on what you're planning on majoring in?
So I don't get to figure that out till like my sophomore year, but the money is in cybersecurity right now.
Okay.
So I don't know what that's gonna look like in a
The
couple
money
years.
there. The money
Yeah.
there.
Now, if the money's there, I mean, shoot, is that or become a lawyer? Um, so one day I could represent athletes and stuff and
Yeah.
negotiate contracts, because I got to do something in sports. I tell that to everybody. I can't have no regular job. That's just
Yeah.
sports is where I need to be at.
Yeah. Just being around around sports environment. So like that's one of my ideas even now, just like going to sports broadcasting, some of the stuff, just being around sports, because being around what I love as an athlete, especially multi-sport, is just having that, being around the game, like multiple games, like sports just in general. Whether you, like you said, whether you represented athletes or whatever it is. You trying to get number 9 or what at the Navy? Because I don't know. You want to run it back with number 9?
Yeah, I was thinking about changing it. We gonna see when I get there. I don't
Yeah.
know what their process is with getting numbers and stuff, but shoot, I don't really care what number they give me as long as we produce it on the field. That's all I care about.
That's all that
Yeah,
matters. That's all that matters.
all that matters.
Number 74, 68, as long as you.
74 is crazy. I need a I'll take a single digit.
Yeah. Single digit, that's my goal for this year. Sophomore, I want a single digit, but they just better not give me like no 92.
Yeah, no,
that's all.
nah,
I can't
single
rock,
digits cool.
I can't rock something like that.
Yeah.
But what's it called? Oh, what advice would you give to young quarterbacks?
Now you broke up a little bit, bro. What'd you say?
I said, what advice would you give to young quarterbacks?
Really just work every day. Like whatever it is, work every day. Take care of your body. And take care of your mind. Like don't listen to the negative stuff, because when you play the quarterback position, you're gonna have a lot of opinions. You know what I mean? You're gonna have a lot of opinions from parents, coaches, teammates, whatever the case may be. And just stay on your grind and understand that your grind is your grind. You know what I mean? You can don't compare yourself to anybody else, because it's a tricky game, man, being a quarterback. Like you look on social media, it's a new 4-5 star every day you ain't never heard of. You know what I'm saying? But they slinging it
Yeah.
though.
That's how, like, what's it called? I don't know if you know, Bolingbrook moving in our conference next year. I'm familiar with Jonas Williams, freshman last year. It's just things move quick. Like Bolingbrook coming into our conference, that's gonna be big. Like especially as a freshman, like a lot of people don't expect that. I think now he accomplished, he did pretty well last year. So I feel like it's gonna be interesting just seeing new talent, because like you said, just embracing that new talent, because like you said, it's going quick. Like the incoming freshmen next year is gonna be more incoming freshmen, and it's just like the way things are developing, and the what's it called? How players has the skill level, just seeing how that's all gonna work out in the next couple of years.
Yeah, it's gonna change, bro. Like
yeah.
They gonna get bigger, faster, stronger on every level. Just like you see people that's moving different in the league, people moving different in college, people gonna move different in high school. I see it now. Like there's probably one of the most talented classes, like class of 24. They got some dogs, man.
Yeah.
They dogs.
Yeah.
So it's gonna be cool to see, as I grow and develop, and what I got going on, and just look back and see how the little bros doing.
Yeah. Just seeing how, like, man, we used to be in the same program, like just seeing how what's it called, how everybody else doing, just checking up on.
Yeah.
But I mean, if you got any, what's it called? You got any questions for me before we end the interview?
No, man, I'm excited to see how what you got going on, man. It's a nice little thing you got running. So just keep growing it, bro. Stay yourself. That's all I'm gonna say. And this, you can take this thing anywhere.
Appreciate that. Yeah, because like I said, this upcoming year, I mean, it's not freshman year no more. So appreciate that. Shout outs. I see y'all in the comments. Luke, Armand,
shout out to my dogs, man.
All y'all. I appreciate y'all being on the podcast. Make sure y'all, I see Luke, Aiden. Make sure y'all all subscribe, or what's it called, follow the podcast. Maybe share it so we can get a couple more guests on here.
Yes, sir.
That's the goal. Because by the time I'm done, I want to, keep doing these interviews, just grow the podcast, interview some bigger and better athletes. Just as time goes on, just new, improved people. Like, Oswego East especially.
Hey, bro, you keep investing your time. All it can do is grow, bro.
Appreciate that. So, yeah, make sure, if you can, you can share this, repost it so everybody can see it. I thank you for coming on the podcast. And let's see if y'all got in the comments got any questions. Send those so we could, maybe answer a couple.
Man, they gonna start trolling, man. Once we see one off the wall question, we gone, bro.
Hey, it might happen. It might happen, but we'll see. About 10. Let me see. Yeah, it's probably gonna be. I appreciate that. Just follow. I give I give it a minute because even if they trolling, let's see what they're talking about real quick.
Okay, they said why do I rock number 9? It was really just a number change, bro. Like I wore 1 majority of my youth football career. I wore 25. I wore 3. I wore 6. 9 was just a sudden change. I won't lie. It just was a sudden change. It wasn't none behind it. But an influence though is Bryce Young. When Bryce Young, yeah, when he was coming up, he was a skinnier, light-skinned kid.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was kind of what I was shooting for. But now I kind of made it my own.
So yeah, that's what I feel like. What's it called? You just talked about Bryce Young. I wonder how that's gonna be. Just like y'all kind of both new environments. You know, he coming to what's it called, the Panthers, seeing how he do. Navy, just new environments. You know, just seeing what's going on. You should wear 4 in college in memory of Lincoln. In memory of Lincoln. I don't know. What you think about that?
See, here they go. They trolling already, man. It's time to go, fam.
It's time to go. All
right, bro.
Yeah.
I appreciate you for having me, bro. I hope this thing, gets as big as you want it to.
Yeah.
Keep doing you, bro.
Yeah, y'all in the comments, if y'all want to interview, I got y'all. Tim, whatever, June, whatever. Just let me know because I got time. I mean, especially before school starts. It's the summer. But yeah, like I said, safe travels because you leaving out tomorrow, right?
Yeah, I'll leave out tomorrow night, bro.
Yeah, Tim, here you go with the troll.
But all right, y'all. All right, go Navy, beat Army.
Yes, sir. All right. Peace. All right. I appreciate y'all for coming on here and watching the interview. Like I said, y'all want to interview, let me know. It's like I said, I got time. So hey, thank y'all for watching. And we're gonna have another episode. I forgot another episode tomorrow featuring Micaiah Lowry. That's gonna be sometime tomorrow night, tomorrow evening. I'll let y'all know shortly though. Appreciate it. All right, peace. Thanks, Joshua.